Okay, good day, traders. Good afternoon. It is currently Tuesday, 3:27 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The date is November 22nd, 2022. I just wanted to come in and get a check on the market, take a look at what's going on, what I'm seeing, and some potential for tomorrow. There's a lot of news coming out tomorrow, so we definitely want to be aware of that, understanding and have an idea of where we are in the market. Again, with the news, that fundamental element to our trading program here is very important to understanding why the market is moving. If anybody's been kind of paying attention, the market has been basically, kind of setting up, nothing too big one way or another for the most part. We did have quite a bit of movement on the US 30 today. The US 500 or the SPX, put some moves in. Same thing with the NASDAQ. So a bit of movement, nothing huge or what have you. So basically, for the most part, the market is in a kind of a holding pattern, so to speak, in anticipation of the FOMC minutes announcements for tomorrow from the Fed meeting. So with that being said, let's take a look. As you can see here, we have our daily chart up. And as I expressed on our initial weekly video this week, you see how price came down and we tapped in. We did a really good injection into this fair value gap that was created by this bullish candle right here. The market came down, tapped into it really good, and that gave the liquidity that was needed for the market to do a pullback, right? To reverse back into the bullish position. Now, again, looking at it overall, when we looked at this on the weekly time frame, the overall market was bearish, as you can see here, but we're seeing some bullish tones in the market. So what we're seeing right now, again, in my belief, is a pullback, from this bullish move right here. So what we're kind of seeing at the moment is a pullback, and what we're looking for, at least what I'm looking for, I'm just sharing it with you all, is a pullback to this area here between this 50 and 61.8 area or what have you. So that deep pullback, in my mind, especially if you look at this this fair value gap here, this is a huge one. So there's a lot of trades sitting right here right now, or what have you, that can be tapped into. So this could be enough to propel price to create another higher high, opposed to the current high that's sitting here. So we're looking for the market, or at least I'm looking for the market to come back and pull back into this area and grab this liquidity before we make that move into a higher high. Now, there's nothing saying, even especially with news coming, because we can't predict exactly what's going to happen and how the market is going to react, right? Because news could come out and it could be such that the market reacts in a way that we get that push tomorrow. We can see that push and create that higher high tomorrow. That is most certainly a possibility, right? But if not, what we could be potentially looking at is an even bigger drop again into this area right here, and even more so depending on the reaction to the news, right? We could get that big drop that we're looking for, to this area here before we get that continuation to the upside. But tomorrow will tell the tale, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at our lower time frames. Again, I don't want to make this too long. As we can see, and as our chart is updating here, giving us that good Lux Algo price action concepts indicator. We can see that, again, this was that initial move. Those that understand how the market moves, we had that big impulse move, and here's that correction right here, right? And so basically, here's where we had the chalk, the change of character. Again, that's where I got into the market and got that initial sale from the other day. But again, that was part of this greater move right here, right? So what we're currently seeing is the market, came down to this area. Again, this is our daily fib to this roughly 30% area, and now it's retracing back to the upside a little bit. But we are starting to see some rejection right around this area again, where the market broke out and changed character. So again, that this area right here is acting as a resistance, right? So this was former support, right? We see how price, bounced around it for a while until it eventually broke through it, right? So now the market is coming back and testing this area as support. And let's take a look. I want you all to see basically what this looks like. We're going to put a fib on it. So from this swing high to this swing low, just to give you an idea of what we're looking at, right? So basically, this is roughly, let's make it even bigger. So this is roughly that 50%. So the market came up, and we're in that golden area. We're in that golden ratio area, right? Roughly 50 to 60 or so percent is that area where we look for retracement. So that's basically where price currently is right now, and we're starting to see some retracement. Nothing saying that this market cannot continue for a little bit longer or what have you, but we are in that area that we look for reversals, retracements in that golden ratio area, right? So basically, again, to continue our move on this overall daily fib, right? Again, down into this area for sure to tap into this liquidity to give us enough momentum to create a higher high up here, right? This is the market moving, right? Impulse correction possibly to give us an even bigger move down into this area. That's basically what I'm looking for right now to happen. Not today, but in the near future, in the next day or so, for us to go ahead and get that movement back down, a continuation to the downside. So let's look at it on the hourly, get another viewpoint. Wait for the indicator to update so we can get the full view of things. All right, there we go. You see we're approaching that equilibrium area as well. Again, equilibrium basically off of the initial move, basically from a high point to a low point, is that 100% of the latest move. Again, where we have our fib and all of that good stuff. But then again, as you look at it, this is this equilibrium between this premium area right here and this discount area. So this equilibrium is right in between. And as you can see, price is still under that 50% area of the entire movement right here. So again, we're starting to see some retracement in this area that was once support. Now the market is coming back and testing it as resistance. So those that are familiar with support and resistance, this is what the market does. Again, this held up as support for quite some time until it eventually broke through. So the market is coming back and testing it once more. So let's get a view on the 15-minute, and then we're going to finish up with some volume. We're going to take a look at some volume and see what the volume is telling us today. All right, there we go. All right, so this is the look on the 15-minute. All right, we made our move. All right, made our move up. All right, and we're getting into this equilibrium area right here. This is a good view. I think this is a good view on the 15-minute because it shows that we're tapping into this equilibrium area, right? So that's a good sign. And again, just looking to possibly tap into it and get that continuation to the downside. Again, and keeping in mind what the news may give us on tomorrow. All right, so before let you go and close out this video, we're going to take a quick look at volume, see what the volume is telling us for today. So we have our session volume on right here, and as we can see, this is where majority of for today's session, this is where majority of our volume was, our buy and sales for the entire day. And then here's the breakout right here. So 138.6. Yep, 138,000. What we're looking at buy orders opposed to 128 sell orders, 128,000 sell orders for today overall for this market, with majority of that volume being right here in this area. And we see how price respected this area, bounced off of it several times, and created basically a pretty good support for the most part for today. And so we see what the volumes look like outside of the value area. So the volumes, do thin out a little bit, especially when we get to this last area right here. And then before we go, let's look at a visible range just to get that perspective as well. All right, so when we look at the visible range, it's kind of showing us some of the same stuff. It's going to adjust a little bit because I moved it. Oh, maybe not. All right, but yeah, it's pretty much holding true. This is where we are. This is where we are in the market so far, visible range, and it's not that much more than what we were looking at in the session volume. But again, as you can see, put things in a bit more perspective for us. Here's where we are, basically in the market. So with that being said, again, let's watch out for some of those signs and signals. For us to possibly get in on some shorts. If you see what you're looking for, and there's an opportunity to get in on a short, you may have an opportunity to ride that short trade out for a little bit. Also depending on what the news gives us, it could propel a short move even further, or it can propel a long move even higher. But we just never know what we're going to get. One of the things I like to say is, just be prepared. And then last but not least, remember to trade what you see and not what you think. Good trading and good luck to everybody. Thank you.